No.
Alright. Okay. This is an ad-lib description of what this trial is about. It is a replicated trial of protector with various rates of potassium bicarbonate, with and without protector and with and without sulfur. There are 45 bays in total here. It's 5 rows wide. We've used 42 of them, and the replication is 6. So each bay is a plot, and most of the plots have 5 plants in. Some have 4, some have 6. So the first sprays were applied here on the 9th of October, and we've been aiming for a 14-day calendar spraying from then until now. So anyway, there's been no other chemicals applied here other than pre the 9th of October, which I think was either diethane or a manzate or something like that with sulfur. So they have been the only products applied. So we've got 7 treatments. The first treatment is 125 grams of potassium bicarbonate by itself, which is the white. So as you scan along, you'll see that the berries and the bunch is quite tight. The bunches are a greenish, greyish colour. There's a level of botrytis in it, and also if you look through there, there's a history of powdery mildew as well. So that's the yellow, the white. So as we walk along, you want to come past me? Alright, this is the next treatment, or treatment 2 if you like, which is single pink. Single pink started off at a rate of 62 grams of potassium bicarbonate per 100 litres of water with 0.5% protector. So you can see immediately that there's a change. I'll finish off that. So it started off at 62 grams per 100 litres of water, and then after the 9th of December we changed to 650 grams per 100 litres of water, and that now is the highest rate of potassium bicarb in this trial, again with 0.5% protector. The immediate change you notice in it from the first bay is the change in colour. We think also that there's been a change in bunch construction, where it's looser, but definitely there is more colour in the bunches. This would probably also indicate that this is 23 bricks, and the other I think is around about 20 and a half, somewhere around about there. So there's a light effect on the bunches. So if you look here, and we're on the south side if you like at the moment, so if you turn the bunch around, you can see that there's green on the inside. The level of botrytis in it is actually very, very light. The level of sour rots in it is very, very light. Where there have been necrotic berries, they tended to have dried out, and there's no active botrytis there either. So anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, this is blue-white, which is the same rate as the first bay, which is 125 grams of potassium bicarbonate, this time with 0.5% protector. And you will see that the colour of the grapes is more evenly brown, or caramel colour, more advanced than the first bay, which this is a comparison with. Also visually you can see that there's also probably a decrease in botrytis, and sour rots from the first bay. But if you compare the treatment we've just passed, which had the finish rate of 650 grams per 100 litres, this at 125 grams doesn't produce the same degree of ripeness. This is the next treatment, which is double pink, which is 250 grams of potassium bicarbonate with 0.5% protector. If you compare the bay we've just come past to here, you see again a slight advance in the colour, but also reasonably clear when it comes to botrytis and sour rots. Where there have been necrotic berries, in most instances they've actually dried out. Coming a bit further along, I think. Okay, this is the next treatment, which is 400 grams of potassium bicarb with 0.5% protector. Initially, when I set up this trial, I thought optimistically that 250 grams would be our best rate, but I actually think that a really safe rate is this one, which is 400 grams. There's very little botrytis in here, very little sour rot, and a nice advance of colour. The bricks here is approximately 23 bricks or slightly more, as opposed to the untreated, which we'll be going along to shortly, which is sitting at around about 20 bricks. So just looking at these grapes again, there's a bunch. Oh, here we go. We'll just grab this bunch for instance. You can see from this side, turn it around, it's greener on the other side. In fact, probably a better example would be something further up. And there we go. That one had a little bit of botrytis in it as well. But all in all, there's almost a total clearance of botrytis here and sour rots. I've got a pip in my pip in my throat. Right. Anyway, it's good for the video, isn't it? Right, come back to me. This is the 6th trial, or the 6th treatment, and what this is 125 grams of potassium bicarbonate, 0.5% protector, and 100 grams of wettable sulphur per 100 litres. So this compares to the 1st treatment and the 3rd treatment, and this is the 6th treatment. So the rate of potassium bicarb is the same in all 3 of them. You'll see that the grapes are quite green. There's generally a lack of ripeness right through the berry. The bunch generally tends to be quite tight as opposed to quite loose in the others. And also there's a bit more residue on them as well, which probably would be the sulphur. The interesting thing too is that right through this trial, Eranose mite is present right through it. The potassium bicarbonate appears to have no effect on Eranose mite, but also there's appears to be a light infection of downy mildew right through the whole trial. Yet the sulphur treatment actually seems to have less downy mildew than any of them. Alright, then we come up to the last treatment. And this is the untreated control, and it's repeated 6 times, as I said, right through the trial, and the disease loading is actually worse inside the trial than it is on the outside here. You'll see quite a motley look in terms of the grapes, greyish almost, and that's because there was some degree of powdery mildew infection through this, and the powdery mildew was actually, we've attempted to take it out of the trial with 2 DMIs. So we didn't allow the powdery mildew to advance to the point where it was actually causing collapse of this particular treatment. However, if you want to scan back to here,
Can't see where I'm going.
okay. You'll see everything from sour rots to botrytis, right through it. So the incidence is quite high, and with the rain again that's expected shortly, I doubt whether this would survive very long. Okay. And I think that is about it really. That shows the 7 treatments. So